As I talk to women over 50, I hear over and over that they feel unseen. Whether you feel that way or not, the truth is someone is watching you, someone is listening. Women over 50 have much more power and possibility and potential than they give themselves credit for. So instead of assuming that no one's paying you any attention, I'd like for us to talk about how we could be more than influential. We could actually be inspirational over 50. Hello ladies, and welcome to today's video. It's going to be a little different. I'll just let you know. It's not going to be a style video, so if that's not your thing, then go ahead and check out, and I hope to see you next week. But really, I am hoping that you stick with me. What I have to share with you today, it's important. It's a whole lot more important than what you should wear or what kind of makeup you should use. I don't think it's a stretch to say this is life and death. Maybe your life and death, but also maybe the life and death of someone else that you have influence over. You see, women over 50 absolutely do have influence, and we need to use that influence for good and not for bad. Someone is watching us. The first thing we have to do is choose to be a positive influence. We have to understand that whether we think people are paying attention to us or discounting us, the truth is they are listening, they are watching, and we need to start assessing what are they hearing and what are they seeing when they observe my life. You know, it's occurred to me that it's not just when I'm being intentional about being influential that people are paying attention. In fact, more than likely, people are paying more attention to me when I'm not paying attention. For instance, I've been really convicted lately that I whine a lot. If nobody else hears it, my husband sure does. A lot of complaining, a lot of critiquing, a lot of whining. And so think about that in your own life. What do people hear and see when you're not being intentional about being influential? When we talk about influence, you know, we can influence people to do good or bad, right or wrong, to rise to the occasion or to cop out. Our own energy sets the pace for other people. Our attitude can change other people's attitudes. It can set the temperature for the room. Our activity can compel other people to get busy too. Our words can inspire. In fact, let's think about that word inspire. To me, that's the better word. I don't want to just influence, I want to inspire. I want to encourage and influence people to raise the bar a little bit. Whatever your age, 51 to 101, and hey, even if you're watching this video and you're under 50, you are an influential woman and you have so much to offer. At this age, we have hopefully a little wisdom, a lot of experience, some knowledge. We have perspective. We can give somebody a gentler perspective, a kinder perspective when they're freaking out over something in their own life. And I think maybe most importantly these days, we can give people some hope. We've been there, we've survived, we've lived to tell about it. We can give them some hope. So I have for you today 7 tips to help us prepare to be influential, inspirational women over 50. Number 1, I encourage us all, of course, because here we are at Dress for My Day. You know it's coming. Get dressed for your day. Aim for pulled together. When we're pulled together, when we've put an outfit together and not just thrown clothes on, when we've accessorized and we've matched our shoes to our belt and we've polished things up a little bit, we've made sure that everything is just so, that communicates that we care, that we are people who are still engaged in life. We're still doing this thing. We haven't copped out and given up. I also encourage us to try to be a little stylish. When you're a little stylish, it actually gives you a little bit more credibility. People want to look at and watch and follow people who seem successful, people who seem smart, and they kind of know some things. And so when you look a little stylish, a little current, then it comes across that way, like you know what you're doing and you're worthy of watching. And speaking of current, I do encourage us, you know, to look current, because when we look current, we also look more youthful. We look engaged. If you want to be influential in the life of a young person, then you're going to have to look like you're not stuck in the past. They need to know that you are still moving forward, that you kind of know some things about today. My second tip, use your blessings to bless other people. I really believe that as we get to this stage of life, maybe as your career comes to an end, you have your kids have left the nest and you're able to focus a little bit more on yourself, it is really easy to become self-absorbed and selfish. But instead, this is the prime time in life to share our blessings with other people. You know, at this point in life, you probably have some things like a guest bedroom, maybe even a spare car. You might have a nice patio or porch, a beautiful backyard. Maybe you even have a vacation home. These are things that you could share with other people in your life to give them hope and inspiration and encouragement. Maybe give them a respite. And yes, this is just a great time to be generous with our financial resources too. But beware of scams. You know, people over 50 are targeted for financial scams, and so we need to be really careful. Today's video is sponsored by Compassion International, a trustworthy charity that serves children and communities all around the world. In fact, today they are serving over 2 million kids living in poverty. Their mission is to work with communities and churches who know their people best and release children from poverty in Jesus' name. Today, as we approach Mother's Day, I wanted to share with you a little bit about Compassion International's work with mothers and children. The first 5 years of life are so important. But millions of children die every year around the world because of lack of resources, complications during delivery, malnutrition, and preventable diseases. Compassion's Survival Initiative focuses on promoting development and survival of the most vulnerable babies while also providing education and support for the mother or primary caregiver. Compassion Survival reaches thousands of babies and mothers around the world each year and helps ensure that critical needs are met immediately. Now remember, I mentioned sharing your blessings with other people. Compassion has created Mother's Day gift options that would allow you the opportunity to share your blessings with mothers and children around the world, literally. There's the newborn care package. A price point is just $38. And in that newborn care package, it's filled with basic supplies that a new mother needs to care for her child. It includes blankets, soaps, lotions, towels, and diapers, many of which mothers in poverty cannot afford. And this gift of vital supplies helps mothers create a safe environment and prepare for their baby's homecoming. You could also give towards a birth attendant. The price for this is $100. In developing countries, less than 70% of new moms give birth in a hospital or with a certified birth attendant present. Each year, nearly 1 million babies die the day they are born. This gift provides a woman in poverty with a skilled birth attendant to create a clean, safe birth environment and to deal with potential complications that can arise. A birth attendant is one of the most strategic ways to help save the lives of a mother and her baby. There are other gifts that you could also give. For $15, you can provide food for a baby and mother, and $1,000 will help babies reach their first birthday. If you would like to share your blessings with mothers and children around the world this Mother's Day, I encourage you to go to compassion.com/K, or you can go through the link below in my description box here and consider making a generous gift that would really help children and mothers around the world. Sharing your blessings not only is a way to influence people around you, but it's actually a way to keep ourselves healthier and happier and more joyful, don't you think? Number 3, start your morning right. You know, people who start their morning right, they have a more productive day and they do manage to get out and about and do things with other people. A few ways to start your morning right include making your bed. So making your bed has been shown to be one of the habits of really highly successful people. But let's not stop there. Let's also have a quiet time. I think a time of quiet in the morning is so important. I like to use my quiet time to read read my Bible and pray and practice biblical meditation. You also might use your mornings to exercise or go for a walk. Being productive in the morning will help you feel more accomplished and give you more courage and confidence as you set out on your day. And courage and confidence and competence are really important factors if you want to be an influential and especially an inspirational woman. Number 4, another way to prepare for really being an influence and to broaden our influence is to keep learning. There's so many ways you can do this. And, really learning and continuing to learn as we grow older is also really good for our mental health and our acuity. So it certainly gives us a lot of benefits. But a learner is someone who is going to make a great influencer because we are going to influence them positively. I think it is so important to keep expanding our minds, to keep growing and learning. We can do that by simple things like reading books, taking a continuing education course, joining a club where you learn a new skill, or maybe you share from books that you've read. Maybe joining a Bible study at your church is certainly a good idea. So as we learn, we're a lot more likely to continue to pour into other people. And I just think it is so important to have that teachable spirit to begin with. And I think a teachable person makes a much more positive, influential person. On the other hand, if we stop learning, I found that we also become more and more resistant to change. And when we are resistant to change, we really disqualify ourselves from influencing other people around us positively. It's like we check out. We say we're not engaged in this world anymore. We live back there. And so we're just stuck. And people see that, they notice it. Not only does that make them not want to hear what we say or really take us seriously, but it also can shade their opinion of older women. We tend to represent our generation to other people. And so if we want to do that positively, I think it's smart in many ways to keep learning. Number 5 is like that, but a little bit more relational, and it is to ask questions and listen. I think it's so important to ask more questions the older we get and really hear people. Take the time to listen instead of generating our own personal response in our head while they're talking. Have you ever done that? I know I'm guilty. So instead, stop your thoughts in their tracks and really engage in listening to the people around you. When we ask questions of other people, it tells them we're interested. And we're not just interested in sharing our opinion, but we're interested in hearing theirs, or at least hearing their perspective, why they think what they do. When we listen carefully and attentively and appreciatively, then we also earn the right, or at least earn the privilege, perhaps, if they so grant it, to then speak into their lives. I think that privilege has to be earned, and one of the best ways to earn it is by listening respectfully, kindly, generously. As we listen, we communicate that we care. And you know what they say? People don't care what you know until they know that you care. Number 6, engage with younger women. Now, you may assume that younger women don't want anything to do with you, but I found that's just not true. Sure, in a large group of younger women and they're all visiting with each other and having a good time, yeah, you may be on the sidelines. But when the groups are smaller, I have learned that younger women are open to learning from the perspectives and experience of older women. Recently, I have joined 2 different groups of young women. I joined a book club that clearly said it was the Young Women's Book Club of Cincinnati, but I don't know what I was thinking. I guess at the moment I felt really young, and then I remembered I'm 61. But I went to the book club and I was genuinely welcomed. The women seemed to really enjoy having me there, and they asked me questions and they talked with me. It felt really good. It made me feel younger and more engaged, and I hope that I had something to contribute to them also. I've also joined a group for women who work from home, and we meet in coffee shops around Cincinnati and just work together, and then we visit. They're all younger than me too, but they seem very happy to have me there. I intentionally stepped out into those and made myself available to those young women. I have not done any great impactful thing in their lives yet that I know of, but at least I'm making the steps to engage with younger women, and I encourage you to do the same. And number 7, a final note, is I just want to encourage us all to spend more time encouraging rather than critiquing. I think a lot of times we think to be an influencer, we critique people, we tell them what to do, we instruct them, we tell them what's better, we share our opinion, we share our wisdom, our perspective, our past, our knowledge. But remember, really true influence, I think, is a lot more than just the words we say. It's also the dynamics of the relationship. It's our demeanor and the way we come across, the warmth that that relationship feels like to that person, the things they see us do when we're not looking. And so it's so important that we choose to encourage more than we choose to critique. And I have found that people, including myself, respond a lot better to encouragement than we do to criticism. You know, when you encourage somebody over the things that they're doing right, in other words, you acknowledge, oh, you are a great mom. I love the way you spend so much time with your child and you're so patient with her. I hear you speak so tenderly to her. That goes a long ways. And we don't have to tell that mom the things she's doing wrong, because you know what? She probably knows them, and she's probably already frustrated about them, and she's probably already working on them. So emphasizing and acknowledging the things that another person is doing right is a much better way to propel them forward, to influence them well, and to inspire them than to level criticism at them. I hope these tips have been helpful to you to think about ways to prepare yourself to be an influential woman, but also ways to engage in an inspirational way. And don't forget to go through the link below or visit compassion.com/KAY to make that generous gift that would help mothers and children around the world this Mother's Day. Thank you so much to Compassion International for sponsoring today's video. I hope you have a great day, and I also wish you a happy Mother's Day. If you're a mom or you are celebrating your mom or another mom figure in your life, I hope that you enjoy making that day intentionally a day to honor the mothers in your life. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye now.